Welcome once again to our Rockstar VA Alrighty, good evening everyone through our 3 million viewers on YouTube na tato. On Facebook. Hello, good evening. Welcome to another Rockstar VA show. And of course, it's Tuesday night, and we really love to feature experts in our Rockstar VA show to really give you awareness towards what is this industry is all about, no? And of course, without further ado, I'd love us to probably set expectation as to what we can learn from this episode. Okay? Alrighty. So we have a very special speaker for tonight, no? Import na siya, imported. Ayan, most of our speakers, no, for the previous sessions that we do have is from the Philippines. But this time around, nata imported na guest speaker. And what we will be learning from this episode are four things. Okay? So first is that how this expert was able to balance her teaching job as a full-time teacher, no, by or with this teaching job by becoming, a part-time VA. So also, how is she able to create freedom and flexibility that comes with working as a VA? And of course, how this expert, work has possibly impact her work-life balance. And lastly is, of course, tips for aspiring VAs who really want to build a flexible career from anywhere in the world. No, anywhere in the world talaga mga ka-VA. Ayan. Now, because this person, as I've mentioned a while back, is someone who is a full-time teacher, not in the Philippines, but in Thailand. So hopefully I could pronounce it right. Sawadee ka. Ayan, without further ado, let's welcome our guest speaker for tonight. No other than Ma'am Jell. Hello! Ayan. Grabe, biyak kayo na siya.
Hello everyone! Sawadee ka!
Sawadee ka.
Thank you
Perfect,
for
no?
having me.
And thank you so much, no, Ma'am Jal. I know that, you really have a busy schedule given that you have a full-time work plus working as a part-time VA. But then again, you really allowed us to learn from you tonight. And I'm sure our viewers right now is pretty much excited to be learning from you. Ayan. So, without further ado, no, we'd love to hear from you, Miss Jal. Like, to go a bit background about yourself. And yeah, I think that's a good way to start this episode.
All right, thank you so much. So again, I am Jell and I am in Thailand, particularly in Chiang Mai, and I've been a teacher here for almost 9 years. So it's been a while. Yeah, and I think when I first came here, I was really shocked, especially that they don't have much English, so it was a difficult transition.
Mm.
But everything I was able to overcome it. So it's okay now. Carry bells na siya. So yeah, I think that's a short introduction of myself.
All right. Yeah, no, that's really amazing. I really didn't know nga na day kakadugay, Ma'am Jel, sa Thailand. By the way, naatay mga viewers dagi na nag-greet sawadee ka. By the way, insa na mini sa tawag, like, hello? Like, tama ba?
All right. So for people in the Philippines, in Thailand, you actually say ka at the end of every sentence referring to a female. So if you're a female, you say ka. But if you're a male, you say kap. So sawatdi is like it's a greeting. It could mean hello, hi, good morning, or but it's a greeting in general because good morning is
Mm-hmm.
another expression. So
Mm.
sawatdi ka. It's more polite. So
Ah.
yeah. Like because some of my friends come here and they're male and they say sawat di ka, and I will, I get to laugh like you don't know, like I mean you're a girl because you're saying ka, so it should be kap. So what the cup like that.
Ah, I see. Abidjud na kog sawadee ka. Da, 'di ba? Patak ka. Pero,
Yeah, and they're very into the sound. So
hmm.
ka, like ka. like
Kinakuan gyud
there's
eh.
the air,
Oh.
like that yun. Kay
'Di
they're
ba?
very tonal, they have very tone, so
I
it's
see. So
you
thank
have
you
to be
so much. So
careful.
grabe nag-language ano na data diri nag-language learning, but it's great to actually have like a different story na pud ba given na you are from a different part of the you're from different part of Asia, di ba? Puto ba ay world, no? And siguro I'm just curious, Ma'am Jel, no? How how were you able to discover the virtual assistant's world and what made you decide to pursue it alongside with your teaching career?
All right. Yes, very interesting question. Actually, it was because of my friend from the Philippines. So we were discussing one time, and then she said, "Oh, Jel, have you heard about VA?" And then I was like, "What's VA ba?" I said something like that. And, virtual assistant like this and like that. So, and then she mentioned that you just, it's a work from home thing. You can work even if you don't have to go to a physical, to a place or whatever. And then
Mhm.
I was very interested, especially 2 years. I think that was 2 years ago. Yeah. Oh no, no, last year. I was very, very interested last year because I wanted to spend more time with my child because I have
Mm.
a toddler and I wanted to see him grow. I wanted to be the first teacher to
Mm.
him. So that's
Wow.
really the very reason because he's young, and usually the kids here are sent to daycares as early as 2 years old. And I feel so bad for my child sending to strangers. I mean, I don't
Mm.
judge people, okay?
Mhm.
I don't judge parents sending their kids away because
Mhm.
we don't have options, we don't have choices.
Yeah.
But then here comes the VA thing, and I was like, oh, what a privilege it is to be working and to be
Mm.
spending time with your child. So I
Mm.
made a lot of research, really funny research. What are the things that I could do as a virtual
Mm.
assistant?
Mm.
So that's how everything started. That's how, the idea came in.
Wow. And that's a beautiful story, ha? Because usually naman talaga, people who jump in this industry is just out of curiosity. Like, we're not used to having an opportunity working from home. Like, probably right now, it's so prevalent these days, like VA thing, work from home thing, freelancing. But back then, just as what you've mentioned, like 2 years ago, it was like, what's that? Like, every time I go to a bank, every time I tell like, sige ma'am, unsa imong work and so on, they really like VA, unsa na siya? So we're like very unknown, but right now banks and other loan companies really has some advertisements specifically for VAs because this is really like a booming industry. And so meaning dili day siya ing anak ka uso sa Thailand.
Yes,
Ah.
yes, yes. It's not very common in Thailand. With the Thai people, I think because of the language. Because
Mm.
usually
Yeah.
when you're a VA, you could speak the English language.
Yeah,
I
which
believe there are
really
some
makes sense.
Thais, but not everyone. So it's not
Mm.
very common to them. Only in
Mm.
the Philippines.
Yeah, only in the Philippines, correct. And that makes sense that I know. Yeah, that's true. And I think the beauty about like really most of the clients they would really love to work with Filipinos because apart from we are really hard worker and very flexible is that they really love how we speak the language, like when it comes to our communication, how we communicate in English language. They love how we the accent and so on. And yeah, this is really indeed like a privilege, no? Because before, it really doesn't make sense. Kay English teacher po dahil ni si Miss Jel and kauban mi before sa same school, pero higher ano na ko siya. So same organization, no? And we are, ako personally, wala man ko nag-graduate, but Miss Jel is actually a graduate of, um, second, hindi na ako kabalo. English major, basta teacher na English major. So, before dili jud siya mag-make sense sa ato banong nga kanang murag nga na magtuon man ta og English language, but right now murag makapasalamat na lang gyud ita na grabe pud tag adaptability mga Pinoy because that's why, you know, English people or like foreign clients would really love to, again, get clients from the Philippines because it's our second language. And most, like, kids right now here in the Philippines, mas weird pa magbisaya, mas weird pa makadungog magtagalog sila. Kamar, English speaking na kayo sila mga beshi ko. So, di ba, okay, going back, wala lang na curious lang sa day ko, no. By the way, before we proceed to the next question, natay mga ano no, mga fans diri asa at ang 15 million viewers sa Facebook from Patricia. Ay mali di ay Ma'am Jella. Hello na lang. From Kathleen, sawadee ka with the emoji gid na na breathing no, ana na lang para na hangin. And then from Juna, idol jud nako ni si Miss Jelba, so smart. I totally agree gyud no. Next time, I'm really looking forward na maabot na gid sa point na si Miss Jelba ang mag-host no. One time sa isa sa pohon sa mga guest diri sa the Rockstar VA Show. Ayan. And then of course, mag-hello na lang ko, haha, go Miss Jel. Idol jud nako ni siya sa accent jud, diba? Syempre English teacher ba yan ni si Miss Jel, no? Go, 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 Miss Jel, pinaka-hound sa among batch. Ayan, from Kathleen. Ayan, diba? So, by the way, Miss Jel is also one of our graduates, just as our previous guest, no, Kathleen. So, classmate na sila. And, siguro, speaking of the Profile Academy, as the student of TPA, Miss Jel, like, how has the training helped you transition? No, kay you've done your research. No, I'm sure that na kay idea daan upon enrolling in the course and so on. So naabay impact or naabay nakatabang pod si TPA when it comes to your VA journey.
All right. So before I answer that, your question, I would like to share a little background on how I found TPA. Really, really funny because um it it was actually my friend who's not part of TPA who referred this company to me. And I was like, for a moment, and I was like, it's really funny because when I heard about the VA thing, it's in the from a different friend. But
Mm-hmm.
this TPA, I got this from a friend from USEP too, my classmate,
Mm.
because you've
Mm.
mentioned I think I'm a year um older than you.
Yeah.
So that time she mentioned you. She said, "Oh,
Mm.
Chad, you're looking for a school or like a course, like something that you could study, right?" And I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Yeah, because I want to invest in myself."
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Because I want to be ready." People are saying, VA it's an easy thing. You can fake everything. You just, millet, watermelon, watermelon. But you can fake maybe you can fake your how do I say your portfolio, but I
Mm.
don't think you could fake the result, the
Yeah.
performance. So
Mm.
I told her,
Agree.
really? And then she said, yeah, Ken. So she was mentioning Ken. Who's Ken? I cannot remember Ken. Kenneth Dale Vilango. She's trying to explain everything, and I cannot remember you. But
Mm-hmm.
when she shared the Facebook, I
Mm-hmm.
said, this girl, the jolly one, the noisy one that's, very energetic,
Very madaming ganap.
very competitive. Yeah, because I remember you when we have like competitions, right? Very competitive. Wow, exciting. It's also double bass. I said like that. And
Mm.
then she said,
Mm.
go, you should try it. And then I said, have you tried these courses these people offer? And she said, not yet, but they're good. So you see, I was like, really? So I researched your website. I read everything first
Wow.
week, second
Mm.
week, third week, fourth week. And I was like, oh, okay. So to be honest, if I could be really honest today, I was a bit
Mm.
skeptical because,
Mm.
like, I mean, I'm paying and
Yeah.
I should be expecting something from it. I should,
Yeah.
it's an investment that
For sure.
I want also to win, not
Mm.
just to, So when I said, because her name is Joy, so I said, Joy, are you really sure? Is this it? And then she said, you will never know until you try. So so eventually it took me like a month or so to really
Mm.
think. I keep on I researched your LinkedIn.
Mm.
like everyone's related to the because there's reviews, right? I
Yeah.
researched everything and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, so I am well, I cannot say that I am impressed, but I am
Mm.
convinced because,
Mhm.
I haven't tried it yet. So
Yeah.
I am convinced. So I enrolled.
Mhm.
And then when I ended, I was like, okay, this is it. And to be honest, I think that was the best decision I've ever
Wow.
did because I've not just learned lessons, but I think what really TPA provided me was a community
Mm.
where I could be honed to become a better VA. I believe in
Wow.
the saying that says iron sharpens another iron.
Wow.
And I found it in TPA. It's not just a community like, we're virtual people. Like
Mhm.
we cannot see each other face to face. We cannot, do the chicas face to face.
Yes.
But in the community that we have, I feel so belonged. And
Mm.
I feel like it was really the biggest factor that I'm very grateful for TPA because I found a community that I could share or I could ask questions without being judged. Like,
Mhm.
like I could be vulnerable and I could say, I don't know this. Can someone
Mm.
explain this to me? And
Mhm.
people are very helpful. People are very ready to offer their hand. Like, Chell, you do this, you do that. What's your problem? So I was like, wow, like, all the lessons, especially the first week with you, like it was really something that made an impact to me. Like I realized that you really have to believe in
Mhm.
yourself
Mhm.
because the biggest asset you have is yourself and you
Yeah.
have to believe yourself first so
Mhm.
that you can do things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really
That was really beautiful. Nakatawa ko kay Nay nag-comment diri, true manghilak na sad ta. From Kathleen, no? Kay since ka-batch man gyud man ni Kath. And thank you. I love the feedback. Like I really love that. It's real ha. Like I could totally understand people having a lot of questions, especially that we're not used to here in the Philippines, ladies and gentlemen. Really not used to spending something to upskill ourselves or to learn or outside, of course, foreign people, they are used to hiring a coach to better themselves. They are used to, investing a lot in seminars, webinars, courses, just to, to upskill themselves, to grow themselves. But here in the Philippines, we're not used to that. And even if makaingon jud ko, actually, dili man jud siya, dili siya ing anak ka cheap, but dili po siya ing anak ka expensive, like with the, with the investment. But of course, for us, when we are not used to paying something, it's really like that much naman jud. Marag makapalit na kag isa ka sakong bugas, kumbaga, 'di ba, for the amount. And I love it that you've mentioned na you really did a research, making sure na does it give value to me? Because it's very important for us, 'di ba? When we buy something, it really must have that ROI ba? Nga kumbaga, either that might felt us good when we buy something or that will really give so much value. And I love it that there was really like thorough research. That's why every time people would gonna ask me na, about TPA and so on, I would really tell them it would be biased if I'm gonna tell you about, how valuable this is. And then I'll just tell them, probably you just have to visit our website, read every feedback that we get because tama to ingon ni Joy, si Joy. Wala ko ka, ano, abi na ko si Vanessa ang nag
yeah, her name is Vanessa Joy.
okay. Okay, so classmate ako na Vanessa Joy. So, it's great na murag, I mean, people are like really weary. When we spend out money, it's very important that we really do our diligence good to search for it. And I love it. And thank you so much for that wonderful feedback that, it's really not just about the skill set. Because to be honest, if you're just up for the skill set, there are really a lot of mas cheaper na mga courses. Like there are courses around 499, 999, and there are really a lot of skill set na na yung mga FB ads, SEO, website development, and so on and so forth. But actually, the very reason why we are really promoting our very own TPA program as the community. And on the first week, just as what Jel mentioned, no, that we are really invested towards the character and the values of the VA that we wanted, that we wanted to be part of our community. Because at the end of the day, like as what I've mentioned a while back, prevalent na kayo na siya, very common na kayo na siya na industry, to the point that it becomes so toxic, to be honest. Marag ka nang, na kay kung makita na marag toxic na jud kayo ang industry, ang environment, but with the right community, especially that you're just working from home, no? It's very important yun na you have really the right support system. And you can really feel it despite not seeing each other. Tama ba ka, Jal?
Yes, yes, very true.
Yes, ayan. So, I'm just curious, no? Like you've mentioned a while back na, and from the title, from the title sa ato ang podcast, you have like a full-time job in Thailand, teaching job. So, how was it managing, balancing everything? Plus, you're a mom pag yun. So, we're just curious about that.
Okay, so what I did was, of course, because we are freelancers, we have a choice to choose our client.
Mm,
So with me, I really had a checklist, like what time zone I would want my client be. Is it fixed time or is it a flexible time?
mhm.
Should it be a male or should be a female? What company?
Wow, I
Like
love
these
that.
things. You have, well, the thing is, you have to be organized because for me, I juggle two jobs and it's not easy.
Mm,
So I have to be outside and at the same time, I have to be on my computer. So
mm,
I have to be extra organized. Though
mm,
sometimes I fail in doing this,
mhm,
but I really see to it that I organized everything, that I
mhm,
plan as much as I could at the end of the day, that there's a time specific for this and for that. Like, for
mhm.
example, in the afternoon, I would ask my husband and my child that we would go to the park and nothing else. And during this time, I would do this work, which,
Wow.
I could do during my free time. So yeah, you should plan and you should be extra organized.
I love that. And I wanted to put emphasis on that, like being intentional with your time. It really matters a lot, especially when I became mom. Like, pag mama na jud ka, no, a lot of like moms, I know, struggles really. And, especially like right now, we are career women and then we are taking care of our children. And then, of course, we spend quality time with our husbands. And I think it's very important that we are really intentional with how we manage our time. And more than that is that's also a way for us to be managing our energy well. But I would also love to point out, ganahan ko sa imong na-mention ka ganina, Ma'am Jal, na you are so clear and you are so intentional with that kind of client that you wanted to work with. Like not everyone does, do have that kind of checklist. Probably, sige, kung unsa lang, or ang ilaha lang, basta kay dako og sweldo, okay na ko, or basta ka nang ingani. But I love it that you really have like that checklist. Like what made you kanang have that kind of intention yun? What's behind it?
Because, I am a full-time teacher and teaching is not for the weak. Let's be honest, it's not for the weak. So I really have to be clever in all the actions that I have to put into.
Mhm.
So kung nagtuga-tuga tag VA, we need to be, we need to be wiser in putting things in a balanced way para di ta
Mm.
magka-tsaka-tsakanes. Ganun.
Ayan,
So
and
that's why I had that.
ganahan ko. And also, I think, no, for me, like, God would really give you the things that you really ask for. And if you are very specific, Lord, this is what I wanted. Marag, ganahan ko, Lord, na Australian client siya, kaya di ko ganahan nga mag-graveyard shift. And then, Lord, ganahan ko nga babae ka, para at least makarelate lang siya sa ako, di mi maglalis nga, di siya makasabot sa kung ka-sensitive. No, pwede siya kayo because our clients become our partners. And it's very important that your clients also aligns with your values if you really wanted to have like long-term one. 'Di ba? So I think ganahan ko sa kanang kana na ano. So I think that's one of the things probably that we can add up to the people that will be learning from our community, that it's very important that you really have specific guidelines as well. So kung ang clients na sila specific job description, dapat napod kay specific nimo na mga gusto na maka-work with. Kay imagine no, if every day nimo na siya maka-communicate, every day nimo siya na makaano, so it's very important na aligned gyud siya sa imuhang value sad. So ganahan ko. Now, the question here is that you've mentioned, Miss Jella, a while back na anang di ba lalim, no? Being a teacher is not for the weak. So we know, no, to those people who are really watching our episode every time, we wanted this to be realistic. Kanang dili gyud ingon nga kanang kuan lang gyud mi diri hype para mo enroll mo sa mong course, mo himo mo part, mo apply mo sa TP. No. The very reason why, and then by the way guys, dili na siya like dili na siya scripted, ilang mga tubag, ilang mga, this is really like coming from experience. So you mentioned a while back na very challenging good siya. So what are those challenges, or what do you think is like the most challenging experience that you had juggling two jobs?
Okay, so I will be spilling something that you don't like. I think most of us don't like, and that
Mm.
is sacrificing my sleep. So I have to wake up, though I wake up very early in the morning,
Mm.
but there are times that we just, we're tired because we're using energy.
Yeah.
We're both using physical and mental energy. So very kapoy yun siya. So there are days na kapoy kaayo matag sa'yo, but because you commit yourself to another one, you have to show up. You have to
Mm.
be you have to be also committed 100% as you are with the other job.
Mm.
So I think that's it. I have to sacrifice my sleep, some of my sleep, because it's not really every day that I want to sleep longer. It's just that there are days that I want to sleep longer. So
Mm.
that's really one thing that
Mm.
that I really have to sacrifice some of my time for rest
Mm-hmm.
because I have to catch up some maybe emails or maybe some clients of my boss or
Mm-hmm.
these and that there's like schedules that I have to prioritize within the day. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have to sacrifice because
Mm-hmm.
we want it.
Okay, yeah, I like that na kanang as we mentioned, no, very realistic. And I think it's not just Jel who has been experiencing. Like a lot of VAs probably could really relate to that, especially to those people who has like one, two, three clients at the same time. So, 'di ba, like ganahan ko sa like actually this was one of the question that really kanang murag grabe ang impact sa ako personally. About, what there's a difference between asking yourself of what is the life that you want and what is the life that you deserve. So, ganahan ko that you mentioned about showing up. Like when you say this is the life that I want. So that is just based on, your probably dreams, that is just based on your wildest imagination. But does your goals align to how you show up every day? And I think that's one thing that you have mentioned a while ago na murag, I committed to this, so there would really be sacrifices that I have to do. And becoming a VA is like having a business, like having you're entrepreneur, because you don't have, yes, you have clients, yes, if you work with TP, you might be, under an agency, but at the end of the day, your greatest boss is yourself, because no one is really watching you physically, like compared to like being a teacher na, di ba, na time in, na time out, na mga principal na mutanas mo, dili pwede gid nimo siya motuingon ni Miss Jal kaganino, pwede gid nimo siya atik-atikon, pwede nimo siya chika chako na murag ana gani, but you know what, at the end of the day motong ginaingon na imuha lang yung kaugalingon ang imuhang pinakakalaban o pinaka-friend ani nga industry. It's really a matter of how accountable you are when it comes to how you show up, like the excellence that you put in. And if I may be, like, this is the perfect time also. I know that you had your, feedback session with your BD, but for sure, nakadungog sa feedback. I'm in your GC and ma-amaze kaayo ko with how you converse with your client, with, how committed you are. Like, mura na jud mog friend, like updating every from time to time, despite that you working for her 2 hours supposedly a day, but makita na ko na grabe gyud ang commitment, because that is just how you wanted to show up. Like, that is just the excellence, the professionalism, that you just wanted to contribute. And thank you so much for that, Miss Jelno. Very inspiring jud siya kaayo for those who are VAs na naga tanaw karon, and for those aspiring one, like, if you are just interested in this industry because you think na marag ayahay ka kay ni siya nga trabaho na ang nawag dyan is na marag ayahay ka kayo na siya. Yes, there's comfort, but it doesn't mean that you have to be lax and na wala lang siya, nagtuplok-tuplok lang, no. It really requires like mental and really a lot of energy good. So yeah. So how did you overcome, Miss Jel, with the challenges ba about, I think, time man yun, no, time, limited time and so on. So how are you coping up every day and how did you overcome those challenges?
All right, so because I have to sacrifice my sleep, what I did was I sleep earlier. 'Di ba? So because you have to wake up early, so you should sleep early,
Correct.
right? So at the same time, I prioritize what are my priorities, like what are the things that's number one for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our while we're working as VA, we have mental health.
Ah,
Of course, because it's stressful. Like, I
yes.
mean, I'm not sugarcoating, the VA work. It's
Yeah.
stressful, I tell you
Yeah.
guys. It's not that I don't want you to join the VA. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
come on, let's jump in. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to be mentally prepared because
True.
it's not easy. You cannot
Yeah.
say, oh, we have AI, we have this and that,
Mm-hmm.
pindot pindot. No, you have to use all of your brain cells. My goodness. So because you're just sitting, but your mental workload is working, you really
Agree.
need the energy. You
Mm-hmm.
really have to rest. So with
Mm.
me, I work, I walk, I talk, I shout because we're working with,
Mm.
learners from
Mm.
all walks of life. So
Mm-hmm.
with me, I really have to sleep early. So that's, I
Mm-hmm.
think, how I overcome my struggle. Like I have to set in a time where we would sleep, all of us, so that we could, especially me, I could wake
Mm-hmm.
up early
Yeah.
and do things efficiently because I'm not sleepy.
Mm.
So yeah.
Ayan. So, ganahan ko, Ana, because one thing that I really learned from my mentor, because we are really promoting, like even in our community, we're really promoting morning routine, how it is very important for us, how we set our day, very important in our productivity for the rest of the day. And one of the things that my mentor told me is that your morning routine should start a night before. And, there, like, mas grabe atong distraction these days, because we could scroll up until 2 a.m. We could watch Netflix up until 12 a.m. Di para sa una ba nga pag alas 12 na bandila na wa na lang miita na og TV, so wa kay mabuhat pero matulog na lang ka. But right now there are really a lot of distractions, so it really takes so much discipline, for us to really, make use of our time well. And yeah, so ganahan kaayo ko sa mga, I hope no everyone who is watching us right now, you're learning so far. So if you are, please do comment in the comment section of what are you learning so far, what is your aha moment, or if you have any question for our guest speaker kay panagsaka gyud kayo na siya nga moment, no, na mag-guest si Miss Jel. So please do drop us whatever questions you do have. It's a perfect time, no? Well, it's free. So go ahead and ask us questions. So, sige, going back to asking you some couple of questions, Miss Child. So, um, how has being a VA given you the flexibility to live and work in Thailand? No, so that being said, like, how does living in Thailand and working remotely mean to you?
Okay, so to be honest, I really felt, like I feel so privileged and blessed especially that I think Thailand is one of the nicest countries because internet is fast and
Mm.
no many storms, unlike in the Philippines. So I have no problem with the internet connection, and at the same time, the weather is, mostly very, very okay. Like we
Mm.
don't have much natural calamities, well, except for floodings and
Mhm.
other stuff, but we don't have storms. And yeah, I really feel so privileged actually. And
Mhm.
I think really if I could just go back to overcoming the challenges that I had, because becoming a VA, I really had zero knowledge, like
Mm.
0%. Like what is it? Like how to do this, how to do that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it was the TPA who really paved the way for me.
Wow.
It was it was you guys, like
Mhm.
BD, Noelna, T.O. Marsha, and the rest of the team who really paved the way for me so I could actually understand how things work in the VA industry.
Mhm.
And I feel so privileged to have been part of TPA because
Mhm.
I feel so confident.
Yeah.
Hilason. Like
Yeah.
I'm not really the best, VA out there, but I am confident in the skills that I have
Mhm.
because I was trained. I
Mm.
was I was prepared for especially for the worst. And right now, I think it is just really a plus for me that I'm in Thailand. Anywhere in the world, I would be very happy doing a VA thing because
Mhm.
it's just internet. So you have to invest in good internet, guys.
Yes.
Okay, because that's the number one thing you should invest. So yeah, I feel so privileged and blessed being in Thailand, working as a teacher, and at the same time, I could work as a VA. Because
Mhm.
why not?
Yeah,
Di
why not,
ba?
'di ba? And it just goes to show that, anywhere you are in the world, as long as wala ka sa tunga-tunga, siguro sa Amazon forest, no, na wala internet, you can really do this job. Like, there are really a lot. By the way, there are a lot of like nationalities who has been reaching out to me personally or sa TP page if they could apply as a VA, but it doesn't actually align no sa amo ang mission or vision, a mission which is to provide thousands of opportunities to Filipino experts. So, bisan pag-asa ka sa kalibutan, as long as Pinoy ka and you are really willing to, to work with us, to work with our clients, you can really do this job, guys. And speaking of, I know a lot of teachers as well watching us right now, no? And kanang curious na gyud, even my classmates before, they are really curious na pasok ba ang like what specific probably skill set as a teacher that can also be used no in this industry as a VA.
Oh, as a teacher, I think the number one communication skill that you could bring in to the VA industry is your communication skills. I believe
Mm.
all teachers possess really good communication skills because we talk, we
Yeah.
speak, right?
Yeah.
We put our minds into words.
Agree.
So that's the number one thing that you could use your communication skills. And of course, we do organization, we do planning, we do management. Say it, we do everything.
Lagi, ma'am.
Lagi. And you know what? What I love with teachers, no, I'm not just being specific to teachers, but me speaking as a teacher, we
Mhm.
are lifelong. Most of us are lifelong learners. We are very
Mm.
open to challenges. We are very open to new lessons, whatever there is, right?
Agree.
Especially
Yeah.
if there is, events. We don't know how
Mhm.
to do that, but we will do that because we're
Mm.
teachers,
Mhm.
right? So what I think really for me, your communication skills, organizational skills, planning skills, management skills, and even your interpersonal skills, how you deal
Mm.
with other people,
Yeah.
you could bring that in to the VA
Mhm.
industry
Agree.
because you could be just whatever you want in the VA industry
Mhm.
as
Mhm.
long as these skills fit in a certain job description or so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I totally agree, Gyud. Like, I think, being in a setup or in its remote work, communication is really the key. like communicating not only to your clients but also to your teammates, but also, to your community. It's very important because I think one of the things that you've highlighted a while back is if na kay malibugan, then you ask to your teammate, to your soups na, how am I able to, to solve this problem, specific problem. And with that, Miss Jel, no, since we're speaking of communication, Miss Nizal actually is asking, no, because I'm sure a lot of feedback a while back, they are really amazed with how you communicate. Like even I personally, very smart, very, very kanang, muraghan, ay, jud kayo ang nasa una and then speak out, jud nimo siya in straight English. So yung question is, how to be you po? So I think in a sense of like how you communicate, like na ba kay mga tips as a teacher and as a VA at the same time, and how are you able to level up your game when it comes to communication?
Okay, before I answer that, I would like to say thank you to everyone for the compliments. Bukad akong atay. So,
Tinuod jud pud na.
um, I think with the communication, you really have to be confident, but at the same time, you have to feed your brain bank. You have to read. You
Wow.
have to read. You have to read and read and read. And you have to watch informational videos.
Mm.
Dili to magbabad og TikTok, guys. Okay? Kaya wala tayo makuha diha. So, what I did was, I'm into reading most of the time. So, I also learn
Yes.
idiomatic expressions. How do
Mm.
people, especially native people, how do they how do they say certain words in certain situations? And of course, we can use Google. Like
Yeah.
if you don't understand a word, search for it,
Mhm.
practice it,
Mhm.
use it in a sentence, and just be confident, okay?
Mm.
Just be confident. Like bahalang magkabalintong-balintong ang ininglisa diha. Basta be confident and say it to yourself, I can do this. Ganon.
Yes, I agree. And thank you so much, ma'am, no, for that really wonderful tip. Tinuod jud kay na siya. It's a matter of like just practicing it, guys. Like a lot of people, mango, they are really hesitant on becoming a VA because of like language, because of communication. Mo gyud ang murag kasagaran na okay lang ba dili ba jud ko hawd og English. Then guys, if you are not yet in a in a level wherein it doesn't have to be excellent, because to be honest, clients don't really care if nagkabalintong-balintong imuhang English, imong grammar, daga as long as makasabot sad sila, no? Not to the point na pud na murag, di na gyud pud masabtan. So, moto, I totally agree with Ma'am Jel na read, practice, watch movies na English, and then try to, to communicate. Like, mo bitaw niabot sa point, I think murag wala ni mo to siya na, wala ni mo ni siya naabtan na. Every time we do meeting, we really do EOP. Tama ba? English only, please. Yeah, EOP. English only, please. So, ang practice na mo na siya makatawa as in kanang lingaw siya, but at the same time, at least it's a space wherein no judgment. And then it's a space wherein you could really practice. So siguro, marag na ano ako na, balikon siguro na to na siya, no? Na at least, even if casual communication, because to be honest, even I myself, like, I am good with communicating to the clients when it comes to business. But when it comes to like casual conversation, since I'm not like a native English speaker, medyo labi ako mag-joke sila. Di kay ko kagets mo. Ingon pagod sila, ay joke to siya. Di ba magkatawa-tawa na lang ko. Ana, gani kay dili pagod kay nako magets ilang humor. Di pa kay nako like conversation despite like being in the space for since 2016, so that's how long, like di man po ko communicate back then. 2019, I guess, was I started to kanang communicate yun with English speakers, and practice lang yun siya, guys. Like I can totally remember as well when I had one sales call, and then ingon jud ko sa client na padjud toy ka na marag recording na nakaingon jud ko kanang ano parang ano, naunsa di ay. So, di ba, parang, it's okay because, it's not our first language. Hopefully, that wouldn't be like our reason for not going out of our comfort zone. Though I will also really gonna encourage everybody to practice, no? Just practice because it is for your own good, man said. And I think mura gusto na ko i-highlight sad. I think my second to the last question for you, Ma'am Jel, no? You've mentioned a while back na I think na-inspire gani ko about yan ng homeschooling your child. So ako mo na jud na like a lot of people tell me na ha ayo i-homeschool si ayo kay luoy man and everything no. So like like how like I think murag I wanted to hear from you gyud as like mo magud na akong like for me nalibog na no like bonus gyud sa ako that you have there's a career growth, there's flexibility, there's income wise, there's really a chance for you to earn more than what corporate opportunities has, because you could get a lot of clients and earn more. But I think one of the things that I'm really grateful for is that as a mom, kanang maka-homeschool ko sa ako ang anak, no? Even 2 years old pa man gud si Aya. So, wala pa gid ko like material. I already asked for kanang organizations here in the Philippines na nag-offer og homeschooling, and 5 years old pa daw. So, with that kanang gusto lang nako ma-hear sa imuhang journey na I think mo pud na siya naka-push through sa imuha to venture out as a VA. Bisig na yung mga mommies out there was also listening to us.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Miss Ken, for mentioning it. Actually, it's really the homeschooling thing that pushed me to become a virtual assistant.
Mhm.
So with me, I started when Ardent was just zero, like
Wow.
no months. Yeah, and
Mhm.
was it 0 or was it 1 year old? Because
Mhm.
I have a different curriculum. It's American based curriculum, and in that curriculum, the child doesn't learn any academics until the age of 7. So
Mm.
the goal is more of a character building,
Wow.
how to teach the child life skills, such
Mhm.
as taking care of himself, how to
Mhm.
brush his teeth, how to take a
Mhm.
bath, how to
Mhm.
be patient, how to speak his thoughts without hurting other people.
Mhm.
So this is really the very reason why I am venturing virtual assistance. Though I'm really good at teaching. It's something that I really love to do. It's something that I was very passionate because, I really worked as a volunteer teacher
Mhm.
in the mountains and islands of the
Wow.
Philippines. Yeah, I've been to Tawi-Tawi. I worked as a volunteer teacher to Muslim students. So
Mhm.
it was really life-changing, and I could see myself as a teacher for many, many years, not until
Mhm.
I became a mom.
Mm.
And when I held my child the first time, I
Mm.
was crying with tears and I was like, oh God, this is how you've loved me. When I saw my child, I felt like it was a reflection of God's love to me, even
Mm.
more. I believe He loves me so much more than I love my child. But at least I
Mm.
got to, foresee that kind of love. And I told myself that, yes, Father, homeschooling is not for everyone, but I am
Mm.
grateful you have called me to do this.
Mm.
So yeah, Miss Ken, laban lang. It's difficult, but
Mm.
we will we will be successful in this with faith.
Nanimbawat ako ang balahibo kay lapod ko. And it's really like inspiring. And this is what I love about, the community that we do have, because it's not just, the us or like me personally who can contribute, but it's really like a two-way learning yun. Like I can really learn a lot from the team, and then we can learn from our from your co-team members. And I think that's really what I love. Because if a lot of people man God, they murag kumbaga ba, especially in the freelancing, murag ay ayaw na ng agency, uy kay na i-cut, or ayaw na nga na mag-agency maka mag-direct na ka sa kliyente. No, and that's a reality ha. I mean, of course, as an agency, we have operational expenses. So, reality na siya, guys. Para ano na lang kita dagi anay na lang kita dagi kay I am seeing a lot of like murag issues right now with with having cuts and this and that, nagipang outsource and so on. And mula gito akong naingon na murag, ano, very ano kaayo, very ka na murag toxic na ang environment ba. And this is the reality gyud na murag, of course, as an agency, we do have operational expense, and we need to pay also our leaders, the tools that we have, and of course the sales team, marketing team, and so on. But it's true that it's great that you have, a direct client, which we do not stop our team to have their own. Actually, what we encourage pagani is if you do have your own client and you work with us, it's okay. Totally okay. Jud kaayo na siya. Wala gid mi ga hold back na ay dapat sa agency lang gid ka and so on. But siguro ang ganahan lang jud pud nako is if you are in the right agency, or I don't call it like really just an agency or a company, but it's really like a community wherein we support each other. And mailan jud nako like people who stays with us is aligned to our values. Because usually if you are not, mangita gyud pa maagi si Lord na murag mawala gyud sa community na without firing. By the way, by far wala jud ko naka-experience for 4 years na si TP na nag-fire me og tao, that God will just gonna move in mysterious way na kanang ano ka pod, like they would venture out into other with no, kanang dili gid ikasakit sa buot, because I am so, I am a believer ba that everything happens for a reason gyud. Like you being part of us, Miss Jal, and our team member being part, like it's the Lord God who orchestrated everything. Because I know that naagid siya greater plans for each and every one of us. Like everyone that comes into our lives would either gives us lesson or would really gonna gives us so much kanang values good sa ato ang life as well. So actually, mo to, as I've mentioned, going back, no, nalayo na ako. Going back katong homeschooling, so isa gyud si Miss Jalek. Ako, personally, najud ko ano na gusto jud ako i-homeschool gyud si Aya, because I have my personal reason, and that would be another podcast. So siguro nindot pag-podcast na Miss Jal, no? So in my The Limitless community, I'd be very happy to kanang invite you again. So hopefully you'd be one of our guest pohon kung mag ano na pud ko sa kana na area nako na business kay, well, basta marag ma-amaze lang jud ko, and mo ta akong giingon na bonus points na kaayo to moms out there, na marag ka ng bonus points na kaayo gyud ang tanang perks sa pagiging VA. Bonus na lang gyud siya, but the fact that you are present in your child's milestone and naa jud ka dira to guide them personally, I think that's the gem. Like muna jud na akong always ginapasalamatan sa Ginoo na, Lord, thank you, because wala pa ko ni wala pa ko nagkaanak na nako ani na industry. Murag mo gid lang ako, murag isa gyud sa pasalamatan. And it's never too late, no, for moms out there. Like you can just try it out part-time. Kung makaya na i-full-time, kung ready na ka to really go out from your comfort zone, why not, no? But let's take one step at a time. And before pataasa maabot, my last question, Miss Jel, is that for you, what if you would define what is a rockstar VA?
What is a rockstar VA?
Yes.
Mm, it could be very personal, no? Because yeah, we have different ano gyud answers to this, but for me, a rockstar VA is someone who is passionate and committed and who finds joy in
Oh.
the value that he or she offers to the clients and would want their clients to thrive as well. So for me, a rockstar VA aims for their clients, success, and at the same time, like they find themselves successful because their clients are successful, their businesses are thriving,
Mm.
and they offer value to these
Ah.
clients. But
Mm-hmm.
more than that, I think a rockstar VA really is someone who has the right character. Because again and again, we can fake everything here because no one is watching.
Yeah.
But but if you bring the right character to the table, you
Mm.
would always excel. You would kanang di jud ka mapadapling bitaw. People would
Correct.
always notice you and
Correct.
people would always find value in the
Yes.
things that you do. So for
I
me, that's
agree.
the rockstar VA.
100% spot on. You could never go wrong if you really, have the good character in place. Because skill set, it can be learned. You can YouTube that, you can Google that, you can chat GPT it, but character good, kana yun something that we need to work on ourselves. And that being said, no, I'm just so amazed that I had this privilege to have this episode with you. I know a lot of people watching right now was inspired. Nagi mga pa-heart, pahilak react sa ato ang comment section, because they are really inspired, and I was also inspired today. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Jel, for granting us tonight. And yeah,
Thank you too. Thank you
salamat
very
jud kayo.
much.
Thank you so much, Miss Jel. You're really inspiring. Thank you.
Si Miss Ken,ขอบคุณค่ะ
Ay, di na ako kabalo ata.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Bye-bye!
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye-bye! Thank you so much! Alrighty, ayan, we've learned from another expert of ours, a very graduate yun of the Profile Academy. And wala lang, murag, very emotional siya sa ako, very deep ang conversation because I can totally relate as a mom gyud coming from the same space. So if this episode speak to you tonight, we are inviting you, even if dili sa amo ano, if you find, I think, if dili align ang imong values to our values, then find a community that would really gonna support you. Because our next level really is, because for the past 4 years, we've built up our company as thriving in the industry, getting our name out there. And I think that's getting our brand out there, creating a great service for our clients, that it becomes irresistible. And I think we're done with that, with that phase already. Right now we are in a space right now wherein we wanted our community to be in the next level. So when I say next level, everyone is really living the life that they are dreaming of and the life that they deserve. So if you think this aligns your value and you have, question in mind na, how, Miss Ken, how can I be part of your community? What's the first step if I don't have if I don't have the experience just yet? So before I end up, our episode for tonight is, I would love to give you information about the Profile Academy. By the way, the Profile Academy is just one branch of the Profile Agency. The Profile Agency, that is really our mother company, and the Profile Academy is, this is where we support Filipinos who have less or no experience in the VA space. Because again, as what Miss Jell mentioned a while back, she has zero experience as a VA, zero knowledge, but because she was willing and ready to show up and invest on herself, right now she was really thriving and giving so much value to her clients in Australia. That's why tana siya sa Thailand, and then iyang client is nasa Australia, no? So amazing work. Like, I could really attest to it on a daily basis. I could really see how she show up. No, it doesn't have to be na nakay experience, but I think one of the highlights right now in our episode is that you have the perfect, not perfect, but you have the right, I mean, you have the right character, gyud. And that being said, no, of course, even if you have like the willingness, you have the right character, dili pud nato kalikayan, that skill set is also needed. So this is where you will get the basic skill set, but teach in an advanced way. So welcome to the Profile Academy. Specifically, the first course that we've launched is the Rise of the Rockstar VA. And what to expect, no? We have 4 modules: become a rockstar VA, become a rockstar VA, unleashing your inner creative genius. So this is where we will be supporting you on, the creative side of this industry. And then of course we have mastering the art of social media. So if feeling Nemo right now, you are always on social media, but you're not monetizing, or you're not um turning that into business, this is the perfect time for you to, use social media to earn. And of course, the secret weapons of a VA, unlocking the power of bonus skill sets. So there would be a lot of bonuses along the way. And nakalimut day ko og ask kay Miss Jal ganina, wala na siya sa room, but we could guarantee really that 150% ROI. That's the minimum, no? Once you achieve your first client. And take note, nahitabo na siya kay Miss Jel by just working 2 hours part-time sa iyahang client, o first client niya, with the profile. Plus, I think one of the highlights for this episode is the community that you will get out of this. So there are 50 plus. Actually, we will update this one. There are already 100 plus people in our community, not just graduates, not just our existing experts, but even experts, freelancers who joined our community. So we will be learning. In fact, next year, I am just so excited to really put our community into the next level because we will be learning from each other. So we would gonna have mastermind sessions wherein we will be learning skill set wise, character wise from each other on the next level. Though we are doing that right now, pero kanig yun for next year, next level, good na siya. And everyone in my team is really excited about this. So since this is an online course, because there are really a lot of people asking me and inquiring na, I have a full-time job or I have a part-time job. Can I join the classes even if I'm not from the Philippines? Yes, because this is an online course. You get to have an access to this portal lifetime. All right? And then the duration of this before, I think sa batch nila Miss Jell is that ano siya, kanang naagid may specific time, 7 p.m. onwards ata to for 1 month. But this time around, this is already flexible. So anytime, anywhere, pwede mo siya tanawon. And if you wanted to do fast track, pwede kay nimo siya tanawon, probably in just a week, 2 days time, mauman nimo ang courses. It's up to you as to how committed you are in this program. So once you graduate, no, in our and you get the certificate, automatically will send you out a form wherein you can apply in our the profile sourcing. So in the profile sourcing, this is where you will be included in our database kung asa si client mamili og VA. All right? So that's I think the perks as well, because we will not only be teaching you but also supporting you when it comes to client placement. But that's the bonus, of course, depende lang gyapon na as to how are you going to show up. And of course, apart from that is the group coaching session, because I will personally gonna conduct a live Zoom group coaching session once a month. So we would gonna have like a mini learning session, check-in, assessment, and everything. So muna siya ang atuang sessions, no? And more than that is we will also gonna right. So we will also gonna do our mastermind sessions for next year. That's a level up game, because right now, if I don't want anymore na marag, my team will only be earning actively as a VA. So the next level of us is that I will be teaching, because apart from me, apart from the profile, for those people who know me, I also do have a coaching business wherein I teach people how to live life abundantly. So that would be our next level. We will gonna incorporate that in our community. So I will be teaching you where to best invest, how to earn possibly business coaching, because I also do have multiple businesses. And of course, more than that is we also have practical exercises and assessment. So dili lang siya ingon like one, I'm also a teacher, by the way. Though, I didn't graduate, but fourth year, so I've also had like FS experiences and a lot more. Like I'm still coaching right now in different subjects. So napud tayong mga practical exercises and assessment, and we will be giving you feedback, all right, as to your output. That's really helpful. I think not everyone is offering such. And then, of course, networking opportunities. So again, we have a great community, and see it for yourself na lang yun, guys. Visit our website for more information, for more feedback as to the pricing. Our price right now is 3,429. I know that might sound a lot for some, but guys, if you cannot afford it today, we will gonna increase our pricing by next year. So if this amount would gonna change your life, would you be willing to do whatever it takes to invest for your growth? If so, this is the perfect time for you, because we could really attest if all out lang jud ka, if you will really gonna show up ROI. This is really like a small amount. Believe me, this is really a small amount. Like I personally, people ask me at the age of, in my mid 20s, I've already, achieve, the life that I've been dreaming of, though malayo pa, pero malayo na. But guys, because I'm so invested in me. Like people who are really dear to me, who know me personally, my family, they know how much I am so invested in my growth. And if this is the first step, this little amount out here is stopping you from the dream that you wanted, from the dream life, even if from the flexible life that you wanted to have, then think twice good. I think, it's the best time, December right now, to think of how you wanted your 2025 to look like. And if hesitant pa ka, we do money back guarantee. If you happen to review our first lesson and you're not satisfied, that's how confident we are with what we offer. Na sa first lesson pa lang, you will really gonna find value. But if not, no, if ever na, ay, di ko ganahan sa mga lessons, dili ko ganahan sa portal, or whatever reasons you don't have, no questions asked. Iuli na mo sa imuha fully ang imuhang gibayad. That being said, again, this is Miss Ken, the founder and the CEO of the profile. So if you have further question, our team would gonna, answer that. Just message us in the profile, or please, please, please visit our website. There is a fact section below. It might answer your questions already. All right. With that, thank you so much, everyone. I think if no question na, thank you so much to all who've watched this episode. I hope we get to inspire you today, and we're looking forward to see you on class. Bye. Welcome once again to our Rockstar VA